Spotlight family, author Edward Cunningham.
In the spotlight. Let's go.
Yes.
Yes,
Welcome to
indeed.
Spotlight over the city.
First of all, thanks for having me.
Yes, that means you're in our family now. Just letting you know, you're in our Spotlight family.
And congratulations for the great work you guys have been doing.
Thank you so
Man,
much.
thank you much.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
appreciate
We
you.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So,
You spoke at the event. And,
yes, that's
you
right.
said some
Shout out
amazing
to
things.
Tara Prendergrass for an MP Services networking events.
For
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah, you was talking about some amazing things. So before we get into that part, we'll say congratulations on your author situation and the title.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. Let's talk about it. How do you get involved with that title? How did that come about?
Well, I've always been very spiritual, and I believe that what we receive in life is in direct proportion to what you put out.
Yes.
Facts.
And so I got to the point with reciprocity where I started to apply a lot of the things that I learned because I've always been very studious. And so it just said, I've always, and men don't read a lot of relationship books, but
we don't.
No, we don't,
We
because
don't.
we always want to try to figure it out. But that's something I have always been interested in because I wanted to set a good example for my kids. And so what I realized, and it's always evolving because, it's always, I always call it constant and never improvement, which is my son's name is Kaizen, and that's where that comes from. But for me, I got to a point where I realized I feel so refreshed because it is not my responsibility to be concerned about what my wife does for me. My job is to be the best version of Edward Cunningham I can be at all times. Right. And I know that's you have to be very mature to be that way, but I believe that long term, and this has to do with as far as reciprocity, that we start to manage relationships under this quid pro quo system or model, it becomes, you did that for me. And this is when you hear like a lot of women may say, well, I'm doing 100, but Tony's only doing 60. The problem is that that's under your scoring system.
Right.
And you understand? Because if you talk to Tony, he's going to say, I'm doing 100. So for my thing, for what I do is that's not my responsibility to manage what she's doing for me. My job is just, again, is to be the best version of myself that I can be. And that's kind of in terms of where reciprocity comes from.
I like that.
That's real fly. And if she did the same thing, then both of you guys are serving well. Right?
Exactly.
Right.
Because when you get to quid pro quo, it's almost like giving a gift. But I don't want what I do to, can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah, sure.
I was taking, my son will not let me leave the grocery store without getting my wife flowers, because I know I'm setting an example. I get my wife flowers every Friday. I refuse to let a government-sponsored holiday tell me when to show love to my wife. It's not going to be a birthday. So one day, I don't know, I think I put wet dishes in the cabinet, and she lit into my ass on the Thursday. Right?
About them wet dishes?
Yeah. When she got finished, I said, I'm still bringing you flowers on Friday.
Even
So that
though
kind of calms the storm.
Because again, it's not what she does is not content. I feel so refreshed, and I feel very calm when what I do. My job is to be the best version of myself, to manage that, and through reciprocity, the energy comes back. And I know some people. I talk to a lot of guys. They say, "Well, what if you do all of that and you don't respond?" I said, "Well, the world has an interesting way of realigning energies, frequencies, and vibrations. I can't be concerned about that. I can't be concerned about that."
ain't that the truth?
Yep.
That is so true, what you just said about frequency. A lot of people don't understand that energy is so real. Like your energy attracts what you put out. So if you vibrate on a certain energy, you just automatically attract certain people.
It's
and
even,
so if you do a certain thing with that energy, it automatically evolves back.
people don't understand it. I mean, if you paid attention in your physics class, the first thing they tell you is that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. You can't make more energy to give to a side chick, right? You only have 100. So the bottom line is that, and I think I did a blog about 2 weeks ago, and I said that if you take the same energy that you take and you give your side chick, you can get your own house in order. So the bottom line is so that's I've always been on energy, frequency, and vibration.
I didn't hit your bell. I thought she was gonna bet.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? Yes. Feel like we in church. Say that again.
Amen. And if these sisters out here would stop gossiping with their girlfriends and put that energy into that word and to that man, they would still balance out the same, wouldn't it, man?
That's true.
That's
true
about.
too. That's right.
Yes,
so
Lord.
going
Thank
back
you,
to what
Jesus.
Edward said, that
Amen. Yes, Lord. So
that if both people are giving their 100% of themselves, then it's all good.
And that's it. And that's all you have to give is 100% of what you have. Because we only know what we know. That's all you got until you learn something else. And so I'm learning something that's very valuable from you. And what I'm saying is to put the energy into your mate, regardless if you feel she deserve it at the moment or y'all in a good space at the moment, you still have to kind of sow that energy into it and you can turn that situation around with what you're sowing.
I like that.
Absolutely.
I love
Okay,
that.
I'm with that. That sounds like
love
a
that.
beautiful situation. I'm about to try that.
How has the 21st century woman impacted today's relationships, in your opinion?
Well, that's interesting that you asked that because that's that's the first chapter of the book, and I had to start with the evolution of the 21st century woman because that is the epicenter of this whole movement. When you go back to the women's suffrage movement, you go to post 1945 after World War II. Women have, and I know sometimes I can sound like an advocate for women, but my point, because it's not all the men, but my point is that women have come from this place of being oppressed, marginalized, and disenfranchised for thousands of years. It's not just, we can take away the 400 years of slavery. We can go all the way back 2,000 years, and never in the history of modern man have women been in this space that they're in right now. And I think right now right now we're in the middle of a social paradigm shift. And I think this change in women making just much money, because women are on the same parallel as far as men, as far as education and income. And so right now, and I think a lot of men are having. That's why I was just so impressed. I looked at y'all picture and I said that sums it up, because we don't do enough collective. We don't cook together. We always segregating a lot of our tasks. And I just think that a lot of guys that I talk to, they're having difficulty. Well, how do I maintain relevance in my household without feeling like I'm being feminized? And because most men are still operating off of their grandfather's relationship template, which consisted basically what I consider to be the golden rule. He who had to go got the rule. But things have changed now because the women make just as much money as the men. So how does he, again, gain this domestic relevance, again, without feeling like he's being feminized?
I love
And so
that.
how do you respond to that when he asks that question? How does that work? Like,
Well,
how does the man maintain his status quo, so to speak?
Well, he's
as
going
a
to have
man?
to. Well, he's going to have to. So if you, I mean, think about it. We're about right the same group, right? Think about what our grandmothers used to say, that they want a man with some benefits, right? That was this one that those things we used to hear people at the, a lot of our aunts and our grandmothers. I want a man with a, and so since the game has changed, the man has to, men have to make the adjustments. And so that's level, and when I get in the book, I have a chapter in the book where I talk about top 5 needs of a man, 5 top needs of a woman. And so level 1 need is the obvious, which is water, food, shelter, clothing. That's obviously it's the same for man and woman. That's why our grandmothers seek that type of guy, because of the fact that she wasn't on that level from an education perspective, and also her income wasn't there. So she took one for the team. The 21st century professional woman already has that box checked off. She doesn't, just as I think Kim, my wife had mentioned something the other day about, my wife said, honey, Kim Kardashian just mentioned the same thing you mentioned. She said that I don't need the money. I need a man to hold my hand going down the park. It's the little things.
Yeah, she's good on the money part.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool on the money part.
Right. So my point is that many people think that a lot of guys, especially if I was using expired love covenants, is what I say.
Okay.
And so right now they're going to have to make the adjustments, and those adjustments is that many guys think that the way to a woman's heart is to dates, gifts, and trip. And women do love those things, but her level 2 needs is really love, affection, attention, praise.
Yep.
Because they can,
Wait,
woman.
say that one more time.
Love, affection, attention, and praise.
Love, affection, attention, and praise.
As far as level 2 needs. It's
Hear
not
that,
that.
brothers? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, look, and it's not that she doesn't like dates, gifts, and trip, but the bottom line is that most women, I'm talking about professional women. I'm not talking about the lower hanging fruit.
Right.
The professional women that
Right.
make it $120,000, $130,000 a year. They don't need a man necessarily. Most professional women looks at a man's income more like a perk, like getting sky miles on your credit card. Like getting sky miles on your credit card. It's like, I don't really need it, but if it's there, I'll go ahead and use it.
Exactly.
So the man has to attack level 2, which is love, affection, attention, praise. And he has to do it relentless and not unconditional.
Yes.
Write that down, babe. Write that down.
Yes.
Write it down, babe, so I can focus.
Wait, Evan, what is it again?
Focus. I'm
Love,
write
Love,
it down right now.
affection.
Don't let him go nowhere. Write that down.
love,
Attention,
affection,
attention, and praise.
attention, and praise,
Right.
and
Praise.
penis. Okay. Love,
Yeah.
affection, attention, praise.
She said penis too, but that wasn't part. That's for another show, Terry. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay. And prayer. Put prayer. Pray for me. Help put the prayer. So back to the subject. Lord help us, Lord.
Okay.
So that's what I be saying, Terry. Stay on. We got company. So this will be happening at home. We can't even watch a movie. Terry, wow. So anyway, Didi said, "What's up, Ed? Get him, Ed. Speaker, Ed. All of that." And I want to say Kelly,
Yeah,
Kelly
Kelly
Ware,
Ware, yeah.
Kelly Ware, yeah. They
So they-
waving and shouting and
So
saying,
let's show them this
good job.
book because I don't want to be, I don't want to,
Yes,
I don't want to not show them this book and the potency of what's inside of this book from this man, you all. Reciprocity. Let me read this subtitle. How to get the most
So
out
he's
of your
dropping some
relationship.
good jewels and telling us men how to line up and get this thing together. Because it's a lot of work in relationships. Just be clear, right? If you're not really willing to put work into a relationship, you probably should just be single. Because it takes work. It's not an easy thing to be in love, have love, bond together. Male and female, two different species, two different energies, two different thought patterns. And so sometimes it's going to clash. And we got to learn how to, make this thing work. So he's helping us out.
How do people support and get this book, Edward?
They can buy the book now on Amazon. They can go to my website, which is author@edwardcunningham.com. The publisher said it's on about 500 other sites, but I can't really name them off the bat. But that's probably the popular places you can probably get it.
Okay. And someone sent in a question and said, will you be having any book signings soon?
Yes, in fact, that's going to be on the website. It's going to be on
They can get off the
September.
site.
Yeah, they can get it off the website, but it's going to be in about 30 days.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So make sure you guys lock in. Go to the website. As you can see, this gentleman is talking with plenty of sense. I love it because it helps. And
I
if
do
you're trying
too.
to have good energy with your mate, you need all the help you can get. I promise you that. And therapy and everything. You see, my wife is she's yes. So I be needing all that. And then put that prayer thing down and put the prayer behind penis.
Okay,
Don't put penis.
Okay. Put prayer
Yes,
too.
because
Okay.
I want her to focus on the prayer, Lord. Help
Okay.
us, Lord.
All right.
So-
Yes. Well, Edward, listen. I want to read that part at the bottom of that book one more time because people need to hear that.
Yes.
Reciprocity is the name of the book. How to get the most out of your relationship without losing your mind. That is very, very important. I am so appreciative, Edward, of you even putting this out there. I'm sure it is very helpful for women as well as you all men need to get a copy of this
Yeah, we
book.
got to start reading some books.
Y'all
too.
men got to start reading these relationship books, starting with this one right here, Reciprocity, okay?
I got one
By
that I did
Edward.
read.
by-
5 love languages. I read.
Okay, well, we're going to read it again.
I think that
tonight
one helped
then,
a lot.
'cause okay, because I got 5 new ones right
But it's
here.
about reciprocity at this day and time and moment. So make sure you guys get this book.
Yeah, make sure you do. Make sure
that
you.
lock in, follow his get on his website. Make sure you stay locked in. You can get the book. Because I already got some nuggets, and I know you probably did as well. So I'm pretty
Yes.
sure it's a ton of them in the book.
Yes, thank you so much for being a part of our Spotlight family, and our platform is here for you, Edward. When you need it, coming up, if you have things coming up, make sure you let us know.
Absolutely.
Book signings, all those type of things, let us know. And yeah, Spotlight Over City is we family
Much
now.
love.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
and,
y'all,
keep
give
up
it
the
up
good work.
one more
Oh,
time
man,
for
thank
author
you. We
Edward
appreciate it. Let's put our
Cunningham.
hands
Woo!
All them free nuggets. Let's go.
Yes, well,
That was
she has
fun.
been waiting and waiting and waiting patiently a long time, y'all. Coming up after this next commercial.